What if everything you've learned about your bones is wrong? What if your skeleton isn't a lifeless calcium framework, but a living electrical powerhouse? With every step you take, your body generates tiny electrical impulses. And it's precisely these impulses that determine whether your bones stay strong or quietly crumble away. Most people don't even realize it's happening. What you're about to learn in the next few minutes will change the way you view movement forever. We were taught that bones are simply there to hold us up, a calcium framework, a coat hanger for the muscles. But this image falls far short of the truth. Bones are alive. They are crisscrossed by blood vessels and nerves. Inside them, around 2 million red blood cells are produced every second. They store vital minerals, regulate acid-base balance, and are in constant communication with nearly every organ in your body. And they do something else that most people have never learned. They generate electricity. As early as 1957, biophysicist Aichi Fukuda and Japanese orthopedist Iwao Yasuda described how bones emit a measurable electrical voltage when under stress. This phenomenon is called the piezoelectric effect, the same principle used in quartz watches, lighters, and microphones. This means your bones react to pressure, bending, and tension by generating electric signals. This isn't esoteric, it's physics. And these signals have a purpose. Every step, every squat, every time you carry a shopping bag generates tiny voltage impulses within you. They are a language. They tell the cells, work is being done here, strength is needed here. Exactly where the load occurs, the body reacts, building structure, repairing, strengthening. Space travel dramatically illustrates just how crucial this stimulus is. According to NASA, astronauts lose about 1 to 1.5% of their bone density in zero gravity per month. Not because they lack nutrients, but because gravity is absent. Without load, without pressure, without mechanical stimuli, the piezoelectric signal fails to materialize. And without the signal, the cells cease their work. In the 1960s, the American orthopedic surgeon Robert O. Becker investigated how electrical currents influence bone healing. He demonstrated that bones generate currents under mechanical stress, the strength of which increases with the magnitude of the stress, and that these signals play a role in growth and repair. This research led to the development of an electrical bone growth stimulator, which are now approved by the US Food and Drug Administration for specific cases such as a poorly healing fracture. The evidence isn't conclusive for every application, but the principle stands. Electricity affects bones. Now the second key comes into play, nutrition. And this is where a fatal misunderstanding often arises. Many people believe you can simply recharge bones with calcium like a battery, but it's not that simple. Calcium is just one building block among many. Without the right partners, it doesn't even find its way into the bones in the first place. The body needs vitamin D to absorb calcium from food at all. It needs vitamin K2 to direct calcium where it belongs, into the bone matrix, not into the blood vessels. Researchers even refer to this as the calcium paradox. If vitamin K2 is lacking, calcium tends to migrate into artery walls rather than into the bones. Magnesium is involved in hundreds of enzymatic reactions. including bone metabolism. And protein provides collagen, the flexible structural framework without which bones become as brittle as chalk. And this is precisely why larger long-term studies, such as the multi-ethnic study of atherosclerosis, paint a nuanced picture. Dietary calcium is associated with a generally favorable cardiovascular outcome. High-dose calcium supplements, on the other hand, with a slightly increased risk of vascular calcification. It is not calcium itself that is the problem, rather it is calcium without the rest of the team. Silent disruptive factors often work in the background. Too much sugar fuels inflammatory processes. Too much caffeine and alcohol increase calcium excretion. Too little sunlight means too little vitamin D. Chronic stress and too little sleep drive cortisol levels sky high, and cortisol is a silent bone eater. So the overall picture is far more complex than drink more milk. And here the circle closes. Because even if you eat everything right, without movement, a crucial stimulus is missing. If bones generate electricity through stress and this electricity controls bone formation, then an inactive body is just unfit. It's understimulated, silent, signalless. A lifestyle where you sit most of the day is therefore far more than a physical limitation. It is a biological one. Your cells are waiting for information and getting none. In this light, bone weakness is not purely a question of calcium intake. It is a question of stimuli, of movement, of rhythm, and of your body's ability to make something out of what is there. Your body is not a container that you fill up. It is a dynamic, responsive, intelligent system. It wants to be used. Every step, every jump, every staircase, every weight you lift is a sentence in a lifelong conversation between you and your bones. I need you. Stay strong. Perhaps this is exactly the shift in perspective we need. To see movement not as a duty, but as a fundamental biological and quite literally electrical impulse. And nutrition not as the consumption of individual substances, but as a delicate interplay that your body has mastered for millions of years. Because your body is not a rigid system. It's alive, responsive, electrical, and it is made to move.